researcher and analyst on Libyan affairs. Mohamed, thanks for joining us. When we see these protests now breaking out across the country after a period of relative calm there, is this situation just devolving further?
Well, good morning. As a beginning, it depends on the people who are on the streets right now. If they are willing to stay longer in the streets, if they are willing to organize themselves to ask for clear demands, and if they succeeded to convince the United Nations, the UNSMIL, and the international community to be part of the dialogue, of the political dialogue, as a representative of the voice of the people on the ground, then I think these actions, these movements on the streets can go forward and can make a difference. But it's, as I said, it's always relying on how much they can organize themselves and how much they can stay in the streets.
So when elections were supposed to be held back in December, even some of the key officials that were involved in mediating said, wait a second, maybe these should not be held right now. There's too much contention. Let's wait. Let's take a step back. Let's make a framework before elections are held. It seemed like clearer heads were prevailing. But now that they've been having those talks, the same old sticking points keep coming up, right? Mainly, who's allowed to run in these elections?
Well, everybody knows the disagreement about the political institution that they are representing the different conflict parties. Since the negotiation was about the work of the Constitutional Committee in 2015, there was a disagreement between actually the eligibility for the presidential elections, and especially 2 or 3 points that about people who have dual citizenship and people who are still working in the military. When they should resign, and if they should run for the election. And this has been always a point of disagreement, always.
Right.
But when the negotiations were there in last October and September to create a constitutional base, so as a legal framework for the election that should have been implemented in December, they knew about these points. And there was a clear disagreement, so this is why the election haven't been done. And the same thing is still like since for the whole first 6 months of this year. But I would like to refer for this. I know that maybe you don't have time, but this is very important. I would like to refer that the UNSMIL is really involved in making this problem become more complicated, because the UNSMIL is avoiding to talk about the constitutional draft that is ready. We have Constitutional Committee, which was elected in 2015. They have fulfilled their task, and they have established a constitutional draft. The next step is clear according to the legal framework that we have now for Libya, which is we should go to the referendum. But I think the UNSMIL and the international community, they really didn't like this draft. So this is why they didn't involve the Constitutional Committee at any solution dialogues, and they didn't bring the idea of making referendum. And now they are using actually the people on the streets and saying we should listen to the voice of the people on the streets, while they are actually excluding the committee that was elected by the people to establish the constitutional from any solution, which is I see as a very hypocritic, to be honest. Why we are saying people are disagree on this draft, and we are going from the other side to support conflict parties who are not representing these people. Let the people make the decision and go vote for this constitution on a free referendum. And after that, if there was anything that people disagree, then we can make some amendments.
Yeah, I mean, you raised some really good points there. Mohamed, really good to have you with us. Thank you.